Hello everybody, I'm Urvashi and I'm back with another video. So this is on Mercury being retrograde in the February of 2020, and Mercury will start its retrograde motion from the 17th of February, and this is going to continue till the 10th of March. But the shadow period is almost between the 3rd of Feb to the 30th of March. So what is retrogression and what is the shadow period? Let me explain this to you. Planets never go retrograde. Planets never suddenly stop and start moving in the opposite direction. It's how you see them. So if you're traveling in a train and there's a your train is going very fast and there's a slower train you're crossing, it would seem as if they are moving in the opposite direction, or vice versa. So that is the effect that sometimes we see planets vis-a-vis their placement from the earth. When we see them, it almost seems as if they're going in the opposite direction, but they're really not going in the opposite direction. It's an apparent motion. And now what is a shadow period? So Mercury goes retrograde on about 18 degrees of Aquarius, and then it goes retrograde in Aquarius and on the 18th degree of Aquarius in the nakshatra of Shatabisha, and it goes back towards the fourth degree of Aquarius. On the 10th of March, it starts its direct motion from the 4th again. So these degrees from 4 to 18 is the shadow period of Mercury. Mercury is already crossed that 4th degree on the 2nd of Feb, and so it's going to touch the 18th degree on the 17th, come back to that 4, again move forward. So this area between these degrees, the time that Mercury spends, is called the shadow period, and we will feel the impact of retrogression in this shadow period. And what is the impact of Mercury? What is the impact of retrogression? In fact, retrogression tends to slow things down. I'm going to give you a playlist at the end of this video where I've talked about retrogression of all the planets and the way they impact us. If they are there in the birth chart, if you have retrograde planets in the birth chart, how it will impact you. I'm going to give you a playlist for all the planets, you can watch it. So retrogression, basically we intend to internalize the energy more, and we feel less of it on the outside, and there's more effort that is required with the planet. Things tend to slow down, and everything happens with more of an effort, with double the effort, and things tend to go wrong also. The tendency is there. Planets usually go retrograde so that we can slow down, because in life we just want to hurry up, go through everything quickly, keep moving forward, keep achieving new targets and keep moving forward. But that's not what we should be doing. We need to stop every now and then and look back at what's happening and see where we are going, and try to see if we are our day-to-day work is aligned towards our long-term dreams, ambitions, desires, plans. So it's aligning ourselves to what we really want, towards our targets. Are we doing everything that we are supposed to be doing to achieve those targets? That is what especially a Mercury retrogression is, because Mercury is all about planning. So whatever your day-to-day plans are, when you wake up in the morning and then think, you're going, fine, I got to meet this person today, I got to meet this person. Like I start thinking, okay, I got to do this video today, I got to do these few readings today, and whatever. So I plan my day like that. And now that Mercury is retrograde, nothing is happening the way I plan. Things tend to slow down. For example, I had to go somewhere today, and then suddenly I found out that some important paperwork for my son's school that I'd signed and I'd sent has been misplaced. And so I had to drive all the way to his school first, and then I had to go to another place. So things like that, paperwork, communication, we know of communication. Communication goes wrong when Mercury is retrograde. But not just communication. Like I said, any paperwork, any negotiation, anything like that, any planning, any travel. So journeys can be little inconvenient when Mercury is retrograde. Verbal communications, like for instance, I'm making this video and at the end of the video I realized there has been no recording for some reason. That's happened with me when Mercury goes retrograde. Things like I remember in one of the retrograde periods, I wanted to I put an important document in a photocopier at home. I took the photocopy out, I forgot to take out the original from the photocopier, and about a month later I spent an entire day looking for that piece of document that I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. I gave up. till much later I happened to photocopy something again, and that document of mine, the original, was still in the photocopy. So small things like that, not necessarily big things, not necessarily your computer will break down, or verbal communication will go wrong, which also can, your mobile can, suddenly, start giving you trouble. Your laptop can suddenly be infected by a virus. Your, messages can go wrong. Your travel can be a little inconvenient. I'm sorry guys about the noise today, just can't avoid it. I just needed to do this video today because we only have a couple of days and I wanted to share this info with you guys. So you'll have to excuse the background music. Today is the 14th of Feb, Valentine's Day. So I think there's some kind of a celebration next door. So like I said, paperwork, papers, small receipts. You buy something and you can misplace the receipt, you want to return it and you're not able to return it, things like that. Losing things, misplacing things, inconvenience, driving, getting stuck up in traffic, flights being delayed. These are some small common things that happen when Mercury goes retrograde, because like I said, retrogression, especially of Mercury, means we need to align our present with our long-term ambitions, dreams, desires. Are we doing what we are supposed to do in order to achieve what we want to achieve? It's the aligning of day-to-day work with long-term plans is what this energy is about. That is why things tend to slow down, so that we can stop and think and assess and revisit our plans and go over whatever we have in the loop to do to achieve whatever we want to achieve. So that is what retrogression is about. So since this time Mercury is being retrograde in an Aries sign, in Aquarius, so what is going to be most impacted is communication. And what is the solution of all things will be communication. So communication will somehow sort out your issues. Whatever minor issues you have during this retrogression will be sorted out if you communicate more. So I'm going to be talking about Aries. Aries, this is happening in your 11th house, in the house of your network circles, friends. So in this case, you may learn things about your friends. You may now understand who your friends really are. And there could be rumors you get to hear. Don't believe everything you hear. You got to dig deeper. You got to, before you react over anything, because like I said, communication is going to be an issue in this transit. So there could be wrong communication regarding friends, regarding network circles. You may suddenly want to withdraw from your social circle. Maybe you need some quiet time. Maybe you even think about your long-term ambitions and dreams and desires and whether that is really what you want. So the main theme is ambitions, desires, dreams, revisiting, rethinking about them, network circle and friends. And maybe you need some time away from them. Maybe you even come into contact with old friends. So during such a Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, chances are that you may, get to connect with somebody from the past. Now I'm going to be talking about Taurus. Taurus, this is happening in the 10th house. And in the 10th house, this could be sudden changes in. So you were expecting something in the office, some status, some position, and that could be changed beyond your expectations, for the worse or for the better. This could be you assessing, analyzing, thinking about whether this is the career choice, the right choice for you. You could be actually thinking a lot, spending a lot of time wondering on whether this is what you want to do all your life, or whether you should reconsider it now. And it is the right time to reconsider things. It is the right time to go over what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, whether this is in sync with your long-term ambitions, whether this is what you enjoy doing. And so this is the basic theme is your profession, your communication with your seniors, with your bosses, with the authority figures. And this could also be in relation to the government, because the 10th house is also the government. So there could be certain complications, certain things from the past that you have maybe ignored, and now those things come up and you need to get those sorted as well. I'm going to be talking about Gemini. This is in the 9th house. For Gemini people, Mercury is going to be retrograde in the 9th house, and the 9th house is education. So if there is something on your mind regarding some education, some course that you previously left off midway, some exams that you were to give but you did not appear for, it's the right time to do that. Maybe you need to go visit your father. You probably will be doing that. So for travel, I wouldn't say this is the best time, because like I said, travel and communication are two things impacted when Mercury is retrograde. So there could be, delays, flight delays, missed trains, missed buses, and you're driving and suddenly you're out of fuel, and so if you are traveling, then make sure everything is checked. You check your fuel, you have your car serviced, you doubly check your flight plan and everything. But it's a good time to travel back to a place which takes you back in memory lane, and it's a good time to take advice. And advice for what? Advice about what? Advice about anything in the whole wide world, because the 9th house is too big an area to specify. This could be your philosophy that you're questioning about. So it's a great time to connect with your father, a teacher, a father figure, and take their suggestions on whatever your thoughts are. Now I'm going to be talking about Cancer. This is in the 8th house. So the 8th house is also the gains from relationships, the growth of relationships. So you probably will be assessing how much you are giving into relationships, what you're getting out of relationships, your joint assets. You definitely got to check up on any investments that you're doing, any taxes that you have to pay, any insurances, your medical insurance, health insurance. If you have any installment due, you got to check on those. Joint assets, relationship, growth of relationships, what you're getting vis-a-vis what you're giving. This could be an emotional time for Cancer, because the 8th house is also is the place where we hide our deepest fears, deepest secrets, things we want to forget, and those situations may come up, may be slightly disturbing, and the solution to the issue is communication. And in this case, I would suggest talk to your family. Your family will be supportive, and they'll help you get out of the situation mentally, whatever situation you are in. Now I'm going to be talking about Leo. For Leo, this is happening in the 7th house. Mercury is going retrograde in the 7th house. This is about business partnerships, negotiations, selling and purchasing of things. So like I said, take care of your receipts, take care of your bills. Preferably don't buy anything major, don't do any major purchases at this point of time. Communication with your spouse can go wrong. Communication with your business partners, your public image. Be very careful about what you're communicating. So it's all about communication, business partners, spouse, reevaluating your relationship with your spouse. Maybe you need to talk to your spouse. Maybe you need to share things that you haven't shared. Sometimes we take things for granted, and we spend most of our lives assuming the other person knows our thoughts. So it's a good time to slow down, to stop and think of the important things that you need to share and discuss and talk. This could be with your business partners, this could be with your spouse. Now I'm going to be talking about Virgo. Virgo, this is happening in your 6th house. All about daily routine, all about achieving targets, all about your relationship with your colleagues. All about how you execute things on a day-to-day basis, all about your health. So maybe you need to get yourself tested, all your tests done, and maybe you need to have a general checkup. Also, you need to be careful of any rumors in the office, in the workplace, any miscommunication between you and your colleagues. If targets are not being met, then why are they not being met? What are the reasons? You need to assess what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So it's about thinking about your daily routine and your targets and your health and your colleagues, your relationship with your colleagues. So you need to stop and think about all that, and things may go wrong in that area. And now I'm going to be talking about Libra. So Libra, this is happening in your 5th house. So suddenly you may feel your creative skills have come headlong across a brick wall, and you're not able to think clearly. And so the best remedy for Libra people is spend some time with your children. Try and see things the way they see. Talk to them. They will be like stress busters for you. And this could also be old relationships coming up, old love affairs coming up, and you may be getting together with somebody you knew from the past, and maybe clearing the air a little bit, and all that will definitely help clear your head right now. So creativity will feel blocked, old relationships may come up, relationships with your children, if there is an issue, this is the right time to correct them. And children and communication with your children, communication with your loved ones is the key to this transit. It'll help clear your mind. Now I'm going to be talking about Scorpio. Scorpio people, this is in the 4th house. So this is about your happiness. This is about your comfort zone. This is about your home, your property, your mother. Many of you will be, improving or wanting to improve their relationship with their mother. Many of you will be reassessing, thinking about, anything you want to buy, any property matters, any vehicles that you want to buy. In fact, if you've been wanting to buy something, now is the time to stop and think. Now is the time to really go slow and really think about if this is what you really want, if this is the right choice for you. So these transits just slow us down so that we can think of our plans. And sometimes we're in a hurry and we quickly go towards certain decisions that we regret later on. We tend to buy a vehicle and then we don't like it. We make mistakes. So those kind of things happen in retrograde, especially of the Mercury retrograde, because the decision making is Mercury. So you need to go slow about your happiness, your home. If there is disturbance in the home front, now is the time to stop and think why and what can you really do about it. Talking with your mother will really help. Maybe that will help enlighten you a little bit. Talking with your mother, talking with a father figure, that will really help you. So now I'm going to be talking about Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is your 3rd house, so all about communication. So Sagittarius, you guys got to be extra careful. This is communication and this is the 3rd house of communication. So WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, verbal communication, written communication, losing documentation, negotiations, deals, written deals, verbal deals, all that is under Mercury. Travel, short distance travel, you're going out, you have your car punctured, you're going for a movie, and you get into a traffic jam. That's happened with me. You get into a traffic jam, that happens in Delhi all the time, and you're stuck and you reach the movie when half the movie is finished. That's typical of what a retrograde Mercury is. So that kind of a thing. Communication is the key. Communication doesn't mean just talking. Communication means listening, understanding, opening up. So that is the best you can do. Go slow with all your plans, travel plans. Whatever communication you're doing, doubly check. If you've sent somebody a message, you can check whether you've sent it to the correct number. If you're sending a mail, you can call up and check. If it's an important mail, there's no harm in calling up and checking if they've got the mail. If you're buying something, selling something, make sure you have the receipt. Make sure you keep it in a place where you will not lose it. So this is all about communication and travel for you. Now I'm going to talk about Capricorn. Capricorn, this is your 2nd house. So your thoughts would be about wealth, about different and new ways of making wealth. Maybe you already have certain plans. Maybe you're thinking of a new way of making money, a new business source. And maybe you're assessing what you have. Is it good enough? Is it enough? Whatever your plans are of making money, whatever business ideas you have in mind, this is a good time to stop, slow down, think about it. Your family, your relationship with your family. So this is in the 2nd house of speech. This is in the house of food. Maybe you need to slow down and think about your food habits. What all are you eating? Is it good for your health? This is also Markesh house. So Capricorn also needs to slow down, think about their food habits, think about the relationship with their family, think about the wealth and areas where money is coming in from. Is it good enough? Do they need to do something better? If they already have something in mind, they can think about whether that is a good plan. Now I'm going to be talking about Aquarius. So Aquarius, you generally will feel a little slowed down. You'd be more introspective. You'd be wanting a new haircut. You'd be wanting a new look altogether. Many of you, you'd be wanting a new wardrobe maybe, and it's a good thing to do. When Mercury goes retrograde in the ascendant, it's good to think about yourself. You'd be thinking of all the hobbies. It's a great time to go back to any old hobby that you had previously. And your communication, you got to be extra careful of, because this is in the ascendant. So Aquarius needs to slow down, be very careful, and be more communicative. Communicative, again, I'm going to say, is also about listening and understanding what somebody else is trying to say, of taking feedback. And here you could be interacting with your loved ones, with a teacher, somebody who can give you some good advice. Your friends, Mercury is also friends in the ascendant, it's retrograde. So maybe you need to sit and slow down and listen to them and get some ideas. Maybe you're feeling a little clogged up in the mind, not able to, move forward. So you need to interact with your friends a little bit. Now I'm going to be talking about Pisces. For Pisces, this is the 12th house. So for Pisces, it's going to be going towards the past. There could be certain regrets, certain losses that are on your mind. There could be expenditure. You could be worried about expenditure. And for Pisces, since this is the 4th house, this could be expenditure also of Mercury is the lord of the 4th house. This could be expenditure on property, on something you want to buy for your home. So this could be expenditure about that, and you're thinking about that. You may spend a lot of time daydreaming. And this is a good transit for trying to connect with yourself and coming up with brilliant ideas. So Mercury in the 12th, if it's retrograde, it can really connect you towards, now depending on what all you have in your chart, you could feel very intuitive. You could come up with a lot of bright ideas. People from the past may come up. Things from the past may need to be sorted. It could be a wastage of energy and time. You may feel exhausted. You may feel unmotivated. You may feel you want to spend a lot of quiet time. It's a good time for meditation and introspection for Pisces. So that is all for now. We'll see you in the next video.